Welcome back to the LCS Summer Playoffs ahead of Game 4 in the upper bracket banger between Evil Geniuses and Cloud9. Now, with FTX Most Improved Player Fudge making a big impact on the Rift, a reminder that fan voting has now opened for our 2022 FTX Most Improved Player. Check out ftx.us/LCS to make your voice heard and be entered for a chance to win a Most Improved trophy of your own. Fudge definitely has been good. Had the rough side of Sion into Renekton. Not a lot of champions can outlane Renekton. That was definitely a gap, at least via champion select. And overall, I mean, EG finally came back, won a game here in Game 3.
And in their wins, he was massive part of them. I think EG definitely much happier with having him on that tank.
Totally. I mean, you want to talk about a top gap, right? The first 2 games he soloed them, right? It was huge. The way that Blaber was able to play around Fudge, putting him in those early advantages, and then Fudge was slamming home those advantages that he was able to get. Making that heroic play even in Game 3, where it looked like in Game 3 with that Ezreal, that Danny was going to take over the game, and it's Fudge finding that TP flank on him, getting that final kill that allows him to close that one out.
Impact is a veteran, though, and Inspired was saying, I've never reverse sweeped before Impact. You got any tips for me?
Yep.
He's like, well, win the first game. All right, that one's done. Keep on winning. You got to keep it going through here. EG, can they do it? The Kalista banned out. Seraphine, there she is.
Yep.
I think a lot of people saw that one coming.
And Cloud9 getting rid of some of the champions that, they themselves don't really play very much. So now we're looking back at, all right, what does the Zeri Sivir trade kind of thing look like? It's EG getting rid of some of the top flight supports, Yuumi and Lulu. Pretty commonplace here. Vi getting out the table, which is one of those options that you'd say, point click CC, we can get on Zeri, and not available here.
And it's one of these interesting series where both teams are getting the side that they want, right? EG in losses was choosing red side. Cloud9 in the win, or in the loss for them, they choose blue side, right? So both teams staying on the same side here becomes very, very interesting. No Lulu, no Yuumi, but Zeri is just going to get insta-locked again for Berserker. They are happy to play it with Renata. They're happy to play it without those kind of 2 primary supports here. And Danny, now that Seraphine is gone, may just make his return back to the Sivir. Obviously doesn't have to lock it here if they don't want to. If they want to hide their other picks, that totally makes sense, but not going to be getting taken away by any means.
Yeah, I kind of like the option of grabbing AD carry on 1-2 here and then, finding something special, but using 3 as, okay, is it Renekton with cover bans? Is it Azir where, now it's not going to be an easy counter pick? Like, I think there's a lot of value in getting something good on 3 that you can cover and then, go again and counter on 5, right?
I think it's probably, could be Nautilus as the pairing with the Sivir as well, because you do want some sort of lockdown for the Zeri. And with the Wukong, it also sets them up really, really well. Nautilus ult goes into the Zeri, Wukong there to follow it up, or vice versa. I think that could be really, really powerful. There is an opportunity if Zven wants to take that away from them here now, but he has been more prioritizing the Renata and those enchanters, and it's been working well for Cloud9.
Certainly has. And then they're going to be looking at jungle. Maybe the Trundle, maybe the Poppy there for Blaber this time around. Renata will be locked in there. Bottom lane for sure secured here. EG, do they want to grab some point and click CC right now, immediately, or will they wait? I think Cloud9, though, probably grab jungle here before Blaber takes some more bans.
I mean, if you wait as EG and you don't pick Nautilus on 3, it's getting banned, for sure. I think unless you pick a different support. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually do prioritize it or not. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go Trundle, then Nautilus isn't really going to be an option here. Because I think whichever you didn't take will get banned out.
Yeah, you can flex the Wukong somewhere, flex the Trundle either lane as well. I think the solo lane up top is fine. There's not a lot of agency for you. So Ahri gonna get grabbed instead, saying, no, we want more playmaking. Ahri has plenty of wave clear. It should allow jojopyun to get out of his lane and go do stuff. And if they're saying, hey, you know what, Jojo get prio, we're gonna slap bot lane 4v2, Ahri fits the mold.
Then just ban out, ban out the LeBlanc here, banning out the answers, protecting the pick.
It's very interesting, right? Just mixing up a little bit. This was where the Renekton was picked last time with the protection bans. Now going to be going towards the Ahri, banning away the LeBlanc. We'll see what else is going to get. That's cute. We'll see what else is going to actually get banned out. The Nautilus taken away as I expected. If you don't pick a first 3, the Zeri teams are not going to allow you to have that. And they do have a good dive buddy for the Wukong with the Ahri, so they don't necessarily need it. But it'll be interesting to see where they do go.
One more to go on each side. Is it another ban they want to cover the Ahri? Is it something else entirely? Keep in mind, it is a top jungle flex right now for Cloud9. Fudge or Blaber could play Sejuani. It's Azir off the table as well, so just targeting at mid. Orianna is what Jensen played and looked good earlier on. Ahri is playable. I don't think you're usually into that much threat of dying, but it's hard to land a shockwave, do anything offensive, but doesn't matter. Jensen's happy to play a lane kind of as a wash and then go into team fights.
Yeah, it will be interesting to track. Lissandra, Akali, also options there. Bottom side, though, again, they ban out the Renekton to try and protect. Renekton definitely is a good matchup into Sejuani if they wanted to put their Sejuani top, but Blaber was a pretty dang good Sejuani when he had it in jungle.
Yeah, and I think it's going to go to Blaber because I think they're going to do a melee pairing, with the top lane. Go Fudge on an aggressive carry here again, potentially. Could even go to the Aatrox if he wants to do it as a denial pick. You ban out the Renekton, you take the Aatrox. What is he really going to go towards?
It's going to have to be blind, whatever it is.
Yep, it will be the Alistar here coming through. Often picked into the Sivir, this time picked into that Zeri. Will have to be good with the E-buffers to try to really escape from that Alistar coming in with the combos.
You can't cleanse much of Alistar's stuff either, but you can still stay alive.
Oh.
Poppy might come through. I like this as a stop onto Alistar.
Really
I mean,
good.
It'll stop Wukong E, it'll stop Alistar W.
Ahri ult as well.
Ahri,
Yeah.
it's
At least she can re-ult. Everyone else is like, yep, not catching Zeri. See ya, folks.
Oh.
Ooh,
Do we get Kindred?
Jensen.
Do we get Kindred and then Sejuani top?
Blaber and Jensen were the two that spammed the combo. Carry jungle and Zilean mid.
Olaf is one of those as well.
Carry jungle.
To seal the deal, book a ticket to Worlds. Cloud9 hovering Blaber's famous Olaf, and he locks it in. Let's go.
I feel like pocket picks have been so big in the LCS playoffs. We saw Bjergsen, down 0-2, brings out the Zilean, gets them a win here. Jensen was right alongside him when that combo was really popular. These were the guys who would always go to, back then it was Kindred Zilean. Olaf was mixed in as well. You have that support, so this means it's going to be Sejuani top. Theoretically, it could be, still flex, but should be Sejuani top. It should be Blaber on the Olaf. And this is really, really interesting. The answer of the Jack. So EG now going with the splash of split push here.
Impact. I want to see him throw down his own skin in this game. When EG need it, they throw down the impact carry. He gets the counter big jacks into the tank top lane.
Man, if you use your World Championship skin in the series to go to Worlds, that's kind of a Chad move, right? It's like, oh, you're trying to qualify for Worlds? Oh, I want it. This is my skin.
My goodness, though. Jensen pulling out the Zilean. There's a very short list of players that can play Zilean. It is Bjergsen, Jensen, and then Tempo. So you're going straight to solo queue after that. Let's see if their combo, the old Blaber-Jensen combo from the previous iteration of Cloud9, before Jensen even left on his Team Liquid journey, it was that combo that really took over.
I will say, though, early laning phase, once you get around level 5, is going to feel very Sejuani favorite. She is such a lane bully. Yeah, you can dodge the autos for a second, but the Q's landing, the W's landing, and at some point the stuff's going to hit you. The Jax will outscale massively and it'll be a big deal in the team fight, but it is going to be a lack of priority in top for a while for EG.
So terrifying stat here for the EG fans. Blaber Olaf, 18 games played, 83.3% win rate on the pick in his career. Has been absolutely monstrous. Anytime he brings it out, he is synonymous with the pick. People forget every once in a while that he can play it. He brings it out, he smacks him down, and it's back on the ban list.
And part of the reason for the high win rate is that Cloud9 always put their strategy drafted around this Olaf. It is never just Olaf in isolation. It's always Olaf with some sort of supportive champion, whether it comes from mid lane or from the actual support role. And Jensen saying, I got you, Blaber. We will play for jungle this game.
Yeah, really interesting.
So, always really fun to watch his routes as well. Blaber, he goes for very simplistic Olaf routes. He never gives up farm. It's always this very full clear focused into whatever sort of gank is going to require the least amount of time to go for. Very efficient ganks for him while prioritizing camps, prioritizing his own farm to get fed. Because if you're an Olaf player, you have to be a greedy player. You have to be a greedy jungler, especially if your team is relying on you with a supportive mid lane pick.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got to be stronger than your opponent because Olaf only goes one way, right? He goes in, you fight or you die, right? That's about it. Especially
the Viking way. We go to Valhalla.
Especially with the mini rework, right? The change on the ultimate, you have got to be able to continue autoing to keep that ulti active. So it is definitely very important that he's able to play with that farm, get level advantages, and really hammer it home with the support of the Zilean, who can funnel him even more XP with the passive to try to put him ahead of the pace of the game.
And that's why it's so important there. Even the little move from Impact. You always want to get vision of where the Olaf is starting because it is so predictable. Almost always doing full clears, getting low health. Blaber, by the way, of course, you saw there, starting E. Still in solo queue, the massive, overwhelming majority of players start Qs because you're so used to starting Q, but E is faster clear for Olaf 100%. And he is going to be doing top side down towards bottom side clear. So EG should be well aware of this, and they can track this.
And mid lane, getting to see the pain of the early leveling on Zilean. I've played a lot of Zilean myself. The auto attack on the champion is so terrible.
CSing under tower though.
Did it really well. You know, missed 3 minions earlier from the kind of awkward little health points. The bombs sometimes, you know, can mess you up as much as they can help you on some of these last hits. So you really got to be proficient. Know all of the break points for these minions. Nice sidestepping there.
Yeah. Jensen always confident in his movement. Meanwhile, of course, bottom lane again, pushing in there for Zven and Berserker. You expect that versus Alistar. Alistar is never going to, you know, get the push on that lane. So C9 do have the pushing bottom lane to play off of. And again, that's where Blaber's going to end up. So you expect this Olaf cruise through. You get a little bit of a deeper ward. You get your bottom Scuttle Crab with your bottom pushing lane. Oftentimes, it'll just be this pretty clear. But Wukong is coming down. And so you actually got inspired trying to jump the gun here on this bottom Scuttle Crab, trying to take away where Blaber will end up. I like this, and this is all from them playing off of the little bit of vision that Impact got on top side. He knows Blaber is going to full clear. Olaf always is going to full clear. So he gets there preemptively, takes away that crab, and he does so by skipping 2 camps, both Krugs and Raptors.
Yeah, and Blaber actually fully spotted walking in. So he's going to look to see if there's any camps up because he counted the camps that were actually killed, but they're on the other side of the map. So he actually falls behind off this a little bit here.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important for these jungles to get the early information. And so Inspired can make this calculation.
Looking really good right now, yeah. We already heard the crowd booing, but that's just because they're biased. It is cool to see. Thank you, yeah, we got like the one EG cheer.
I want to term them the crab crew. We've got the crab crew in the audience.
All right.
The crabbers for blabbers.
Who here likes Inspired getting crabs? All right, we got a few of you, thank you.
What do we call them though? Because the Blabber's already got a cool name for his crew.
We'll get back to this.
Yeah,
we'll get back to this.
That one's gonna take some work.
Yeah. We'll get in the workboard. We'll get a whiteboard. You know?
Okay, good. Yeah, brainstorming here. Send us some tweets,
Yep.
some answers. The enlightened. All right, Jensen gonna put a bomb on his own head to help on pushing. Get this shove out, and as you mentioned for the Zilean, actually quite impressive to have good CS early on, and even keep competitive there.
Yeah, the record even better for Blaber when you just look at LCS. You know, 13-2. Has played a couple games internationally.
That KDA though for Jensen.
Yeah, I mean you've got an 80% win rate and an 80% win rate. That's a 160% win rate.
Holy!
They're gonna win more than one game.
All right, Cloud9 expected game and a half here.
So far, 450 gold ahead at just 5 minutes, and that's with losing crabs. So you know they're really doing well over here. 7 CS lead in the bottom lane. Even Zilean's winning his lane.
Meanwhile, checking back in on that Jax lane. Actually, not a problem at all for Impact with the CS early. That's very good news. Is going to scale up into a strong split push champion. Got an early no magic mantle up for him though, which is Sejuani.
Yeah,
Sejuani is physical damage, so while the tenacity is going to be important, the magic resist not going to help you here with the actual trades.
Attempts to Q to block out the leap slam itself, but Impact still able to get there in time. Fudge a little late in the timing. He was already basically on the melee range by the time he got the knockback. Otherwise, you can preempt it, you can get away and not take the counter-strike hit. Jojo takes a single hit there, gets the charm to Olaf, make sure he's not going to get axed, and indeed is fine.
Yeah, Blaber just going to be heading up towards that top scuttle. Could do an invade on the Raptors, has the respawn timer, it seems, on it. Because he's walking in like right as it's about to spawn. But we'll back it off now as Wukong's coming mid. And it looks like it could be a little bit of a scuffle here. I mean, if Jensen gets pushed, they could look to actually fight over this. Like, this is very classic Blaber, is willing to take scraps over these camps.
Jax has pressure over top, though, right now. He's actually got the wave shoved in, has some mana and level 6, which means he's got the extra damage.
I actually like the way this mid jungle is going. You know, Inspired comes back to help JoJo make sure this mid-wave prio allows JoJo to come help you. So it's the pay it forward system. I'm gonna help you with your wave. You help me protect this jungle, get this Olaf out of here. Make sure they have everything on their side secure. But Blaber will get his first crabber of the game. Top one secured for Cloud9. Always nice there for the Sejuani to slip in.
Yep.
Grab honey fruit with your passive. The best honey fruit taking champion.
I was gonna say, like,
game.
Is there anything that feels more like cheating than honey fruit on Sejuani, where you're just like, I'm getting him full speed, haha.
Yep, Zeri.
Got him. Case and points.
Touche. Lawyered. Yeah, if you're a pro. Solo queue is like 45% win rate, so most of
I don't want to hear it. No Zeri defense will be had on this
people suck at
cast.
Zeri. Some are Berserker, and they 1v9 games on it.
True.
Don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
Exactly.
It's actually on lives there is like 41% now with the so.
I was being charitable.
Let's get into it though. Vulcan on the support roam actually doesn't have Inspired with him, so has to be a little bit careful about running into the Cloud9 duo. Looks like it is going to be a very conservative route for that vision though.
Yeah, just helping him push out, very likely. Wants to cover him on
out.
the push here. They're hovering a lot around mid lane here for JoJo. I think because they are expecting potential action with Blaber, that is generally where he likes to go, especially with this combo. You want to play around your Zilean when you are on the Olaf, and you can see the amount of gold he has here already, you know, really maximizing that farm, trying to take all the camps here immediately on respawn, and really make sure he stays maximizing that efficiency.
I've been wondering, like, is there going to be a repeat gank here for level 6 Wukong? You know Zeri's got no flash, and you have an Alistar lane, so that could be the spark to set off this fire here in game number 4. Level 6 Wukong, you're always looking. As soon as you get to your level 6, hey, is there a lane I can impact here? Is there a lane that's away from the Olaf counter gank that we can actually make something happen? And he's got options on both sides, you know. Gonna find anything just yet, though.
Inspired, though. Rebel didn't take that.
There's 0% chance this is not solo queue. He's not taking that.
Oh, yeah. Nice little dope bomb.
160% damage on that bomb, hitting 2 people with half.
That's definitely exactly how the math works on that one. We've got the Herald is up, though. You asked for a lane with impact, and you've got it up here as he has the pressure. It's under the tower. Yeah, I know. And it's going to be Herald claimed here. So Inspired not only got the double, a little crab, he's going to get Herald now here as well. EG close in gold, now surging ahead.
And it's also worth mentioning that Zeri actually did like a half roam up, so he's not even on plates right now. You know, they may get 1 plate in the extended play, but he's actually just going to base, so it wasn't like C9 was really even getting a trade on the other side. They started roaming up, and they were just late to the play, so EG definitely coming out ahead there.
Nice found the charm.
Yeah, very happy. And they have plenty of time to transition back down towards the dragon, too. So they've got freshly purchased items here for Danny.
Yep.
Full reset, and Inspired just starts it right back up with Zilean recalling here for Cloud9, for Jensen. Looks like it's going to be neutral objectives all the way of the evil geniuses.
Well, it reminds me of Abadaga in his interview yesterday was just saying, like, you're not supposed to be able to get Herald and Dragon. You're not supposed to be able to get both, right? In his interview after they had taken their series.
Vision.
We'll see if C9 want to try to scrap for this. It's almost gone.
Smiteable. Oh, no! Inspired instant away! Cloud Drake goes to Blaber.
As soon as you saw that 26 health, you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Oh
you
my
knew
God.
it was coming. The timing works out. Blaber, oh my goodness,
That
the
is-
axe steal on it. That's why you form good habits. You never smite early. We called him out. It was 2 days ago. Oh my goodness.
That is so tragic. That is such a mental edge now. I swear, you were so tilted losing that there as Inspired.
Well, you did say you're not supposed to be able to get both Herald
Well,
and
yeah,
Dragon,
apparently you
so
can't.
The gods have spoken.
Yeah, Abadaga was right. It's not going to happen. Blaber just casually walks up, TY for leash, farms some jungle camps, axe a dragon, back towards mid.
You gotta form good habits.
Fast Olaf, though. Jojo, I think he put himself under ulti mana. but not going to get axed for anything. The Charm lets him get away. It is a slow on that CC. No problem hitting the blast plant. He'll always live here. Slow won't matter. But he is off the mid wave. We'll see if he can get the golden XP soon.
Gonna be interesting to see where Jensen goes with his skill order as well. As far as I know, Bjergsen generally does Q max, 3 points W, then E max. So will be interesting to see if he goes there from that.
And the observers had good vision toggle the first time around.
Oh,
so
26.
We knew there's no vision in there. As he's going right back in for it.
So
Get it with the Q time.
Yeah. If Blaber's not here, you're maximizing damage by smiting and walking away. It will burn down on its own.
Yeah.
But he already saw Blaber's there. He's not allowed to play it that greedily.
Nice handshake.
Really nice. Danny Lowe has to flash to stay alive. Gets a minion wave, but turret plate down.
Damn, that was sick from Zven there. Actually just snatched him out of the air on his combo. And gets the stun even onto Danny, which forces both sums.
Exactly. Very, very vulnerable now for the bottom lane. Berserker and Zven should be able to make a repeat play. Blaber here on the Olaf, farmed up, has his isolated lead. See if they can actually push through and get some more.
Decent damage there. Fudge walks away. Berserker has already cashed in on his coal. In terms of total profit, you actually sell it, you go up 180. That's the actual payout for the item. But it allows you to buy a sustain item that eventually costs 0 gold because it pays itself back in the gold passive.
All right, we've got to use the Rift Herald pretty soon here for Evil Geniuses. So Inspired here in mid lane currently as Impact is working his own plays off top lane. And once they see Blaber, they know they can just hard push it. Rift Herald in mid lane, I think, for Evil Geniuses. Get those guaranteed plates. Take away some of the safety for Cloud9. Get your money, get paid.
Inspire gonna try for the minute. Charm's gonna land. They can chain the ulti there as well. Could self holds it as long as he can. And now you let him burn down to 50 HP, then maybe come back later.
Drop that Herald, so get that money, get a lot of damage on the turret too. Yeah. With forcing Jensen back, he's got no teleport.
Mm-hmm. That should be 3 plates. So pretty good look for EG there. Let's see if he can finish off that last auto or two. Should be able to with just Zven there. So does get the 3rd plate down. Nice injection of gold there for EG.
Yep. Shelly actually gets a swipe on the 3rd plate, so shares that one as well. Inspired, recipient of whatever half of 3 plates is, 240. We got there.
And great, more funnel money into the Olaf, Phreak.
Yeah.
Mid laner head to back. Great, we're back to funnel meta. Olaf is eaten up.
I'll push your wave, don't worry.
Yeah, Blaber's definitely farming very heavily here for Cloud9, keeping the gold basically even between the two teams. And with his steal on the dragon, is a pretty nice advantage there for Cloud9.
Absolutely. I mean, he's up a good 30 CS, right? You know, even more than that right now. Yes, he did take some waves that were, you know, kind of pushed to the towers, and he collected that, but really maximizing farm. Already has the Gore Drinker here. Is likely going to go like Death Dance or something like that second. I assume he is just going to continue building for damage, you know, utilizing Jensen to really keep him safe. And Jensen now on the 3 points W, so likely going to go into Emax, and that's where he really starts to kind of ramp up the utility, is at level 12 and onwards, where you're putting the additional points in your E, and you can really get that move speed very, very high. Because rank 1 E is good, but like you really need a couple points in it before it makes a huge difference.
Exactly. And especially if you are the Olaf, you really feel the difference there.
So wave going down the bottom side. Berserker was the highest gold earner in the game. Had a plate to his name, plus 147 CS. You can see, yeah, 5,500 is on that mark. Item is through now for Jensen. Everfrost in the inventory.
I still want to see Cloud9 focus on trying to punish Danny. You're mentioning Berserker and Zven. That lane, they were able to burn both summoners themselves. And the Sivir, without those summoner spells, so vulnerable, you know, for an Olaf rundown. He says, great, spell shield, don't care. Ghost is going to come back up here for Danny in time, and he is going to have his ultimate, but Cloud9 will force on this dragon, knowing they've got that bottom lane advantage, and that thing is gone.
I'm going to say, like, the more I think about it, the more I like C9's comp. Like, so much more than what EG has actually drafted, because EG does not have a tremendous amount of, like, AoE threat. Largely, you know, you're going to hit someone with a charm, you're going to jump in on someone and stun them, whatever, you're going to try to burst one person down. Zilean answers that so incredibly well. And if you're not perfect on your engage in EG and running over the fight, there's no escaping from a Zeri who also has Zilean move speed and the bailout move speed. So I do think EG have to be perfect with their engages if they want to win these fights.
Yeah, until that Sivir gets super fed, you know, has Infinity Edge crits coming through, definitely agree. Impact, though, doing his job on the side lane here, pushing in.
He's got to start hitting it, though. Like, first turret goal's going to go over to Berserker. He just could have... EG taking a lot of fundamentals and failing them. 150 gold just goes into Berserker's pockets because Impact hits the turret late.
And you know what he was thinking about that moment was, oh, deny us a couple more minions. He's obviously not thinking about the bottom side rush that Berserker is at the same point of damage on this tower, so no communication there.
Now, 70 gold denied from Fudge, 150 handed over to Berserker, 150 gold denied from himself. Definitely a mistake. Again, yeah, it happens, but EG got to keep their heads in the game. 300 gold lead. Down 2 Drakes, and Impact, who has them pretty well up here. Statistically, a very bad laning phase for the champion of the matchup, but not too bad right now, as, again, he will outscale. Jax just, as items comes in, as level comes in, he'll feel really good in late-game team fights.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely you need the levels, you need the CDR before you do feel good in those late-game team fights, because otherwise it's too hard to actually stick to these carries. So I'll be interested to see if he goes Frozen Heart second. That has become so popular for Jax. Not only for that CDR, but also just have enough mana so that when you're in these long extended side lane plays, you don't actually run in.
Yeah, definitely takes longer for it to feel better in the team fights, but in the 1 versus 1 on just Divine Sunder being completed with your tenacity, already starting to feel good in the isolated game. And that's what this game has been, isolated, 0-0, no kills still. The best action was the Dragon Steel blind axe over the wall.
Yep. And it is worth noting that C9 is also very physical damage focused, right? So I do think Frozen Heart's super efficient this game. Yes, there is obviously a lot of magic damage that can come out of Zilean, and Zeri is mixed. But overall, you're going to be really happy with the armor. So Frozen Heart makes a lot of sense, and he is going to be building towards it. Already has the Warden's Mail in.
Blaber still being handed XP by the Zilean, level 12 now, tied up with the solo lanes and even ahead of Berserker. So he is definitely going to continue to be a very big Olaf. 154 on CS. Certainly high. I mean, that's nearly a 10 camp lead over Inspired, plus the XP donation, 2 levels up.
And it's one of those nice things about Zilean that you don't really talk about or think about that much when you're picking the champion. Mostly people focused on the ulti, but the passive can be very, very valuable for champions that scale well. You know, with XP, can really help you get those break points a lot earlier.
See if it ends up coming to fruition anytime soon, because it's still 2 minutes away on that dragon fight, and I honestly don't expect them to actually go for the all-in until that arrival. Just more farming here, hands off the blue buff over to Jensen. Should have no problem nowadays, just bombing the waves, getting them all.
And Azael, you are right, looks like double Frozen Heart for both top sides. Each component goes to one to the other. As Impact's got
our powers combined.
Dude,
we all have. Top lane has 1 combined Frozen Heart right now, and eventually we'll have 2.
Okay, who's forking over the combination money?
Whoever's got more right now, which I'm pretty sure is Impact.
Yeah, it's got.
Yeah, he's 700, so he's paying the combined cost.
He's got to pay the.
Reminds me of FLICKR's tweet. You know, top lane isn't an island; it's an us land. Yeah. It's like, why do I always, you know, say GG to the enemy top laner? Yeah. It's not an island; it's an us land.
Yep. They got to combine their efforts to slow down the attack speed of these damn AD carries.
Yep. The Sivir, the Zeri, they're too OP. Build 2 Frozen Hearts.
Pretty good right here. Well, you got another attempt here by Blaber. Looking at Inspired. Smite fight! Hey, this one goes to Inspired. And over the wall is Blaber, who's got his own flash, but Blaber's having to take this one. Gets a shield from his teammate, and now Ult's in, wants it, has to go back out. His ult's going to time out in a second, and here's Vulcan buying a lot of space. Blaber is going to be handshaken. He's going to be revived. Everything pushed onto him. And how about round 2, though? Is it going to be enough? The charm lands, stopwatch. Berserker's attacking. Zven can't land on his target. Back in they go. Inspired will just barely live. First blood through for Impact. Vulcan cutting away. Vulcan stays alive. A double kill for Impact, and he's going for more. Here's last out, though. It's going to be a dead Danny. Berserker not stunned. To get one back out of Impact. He's going to find his own goal. Jojo misses the charm, and it's going to be another kill. 4 in a row for Berserker.
Oh, the Zeri gets a quadra. They can't find the last one for Berserker's Penta, but it doesn't matter. Cloud9 are still going to get Dragon number 3 at only 20.5 minutes.
C9 take over in the fight here. We can watch it one more time. The initial play was really bad for them. It looked like EG was going to get a big advantage. They get out the Olaf ult early. They get out the Zilean ult and the bailout on the Blaber here. He can't really get much, but they can't actually connect to this Zeri. They can't deal with them.
Exactly. Look at the other side of your screen there. The ultimate from Berserker popped out, and then Zven with the Renata ultimate buys the space over the top of him. They jump onto Blaber. Everybody focused on that Olaf with all of the cooldowns used. but even after they headbutt Berserker over the back of the Dragon Pit, whoop, he just jumps back in. And here, Jensen's peel on impact changes the whole damn fight. Berserker back in with the double bomb peel for himself. He cleans it up.
And I mean, the amount of move speed amps on Zeri, who's already out of control fast, is just ridiculous in this game. The bailout move speed, the speed up and slow down from the Zilean as well is just incredible. And even with Blaber not being able to get a tremendous amount done in the fight. I mean, he did put a lot of damage out, to be fair.
Damage as everyone on EG.
But, you know, it looked like it was going to be EG's win. And if that fight goes bad for you, I'm really concerned for what the later stages look like.
Guess what? The timer's short. We're 4 minutes away from Dragon's Soul because of Inspired's poor smite and Blaber's steal. Takes the attempt, gets rewarded for it, and now suddenly we are 4 minutes away from an Infernal Soul. And EG have limited time to find themselves back in. Gold is close, but stats heavily favor C9 side.
Vision control right now in the favor of EG, though. Cloud9 playing a little bit dark with this flank. Inspired is behind them. Berserker has no summoner spells. That's the one takeaway. Oh my god. For EG.
Damage here, saving his own ulti. Rooted in place, tries to get out. Now it's Verna's ult, but Blaber's on the chase and Inspired. One more axe could seal it. And Blaber keeps in the aggro. Here comes the engage. Berserker's on, but will it even matter? Zen's already gone. The chase into Jensen flashes to safety. Vulcan sets up a lot of space. Inspired stayed alive.
That's huge.
And the revive on Zeri doesn't matter. She's still down.
This could be Baron. EG are going to go straight for it. A 700 gold kill there for Inspire. Gets a massive injection of gold as Berserker does go down. They force out the flashes in EG. The Baron is theirs. They're going to be way ahead in gold.
Sometimes you just gotta YOLO it. And Inspired pulls out a play from nowhere. Hiding in the brush, inside all members of Cloud9, jumps out. Blaber gets baited into the rest of the team, and this time around, Berserker had no summoner spells. They had no more juice left because it was, again, all used on Blaber. And it's the turnaround. Inspired's just like, I gotta create something crazy here. He does it. He goes in on a Jensen, the W backwards out, and he gets the support from the team as Blaber gets the Renata bailout on him, but he can't catch Inspired anyways, and then Impact comes in. Huge setup here.
You look at the class from all sides, right? JoJo's coming in from the right, Impact's coming in from the left. It's a multi-angle flank there. Zilean has to get in onto Berserker to actually ult him, but then Ahri's on top of you, so you got to flash out of there. And EG did such a good job of creating chaos that C9 couldn't kind of have the set of battle lines that they would want in a fight like this.
I feel like Legend Tenacity saved Inspired's life because Jensen landed Everfrost. You can't W, it's a dash. If you're rooted, you can't W. The bombs come out after he hops off the clone, so Jensen just, I don't know if the stuff was on cooldown or what, but doesn't get the stun. The guy walks away at 400 HP, and that rest of the fight looks so much better without a first kill to start it out. And now, yeah, 2,800 gold lead. Red Bull Baron power play. Still 2 minutes in that one. It will overlap with the 4th Drake of the game that they need to stop Cloud9's Soul.
That is so big here. Once again, Evil Geniuses with the gold lead, but Cloud9 with the Dragons lead for themselves. But EG aren't done. Baron buff on for another minute and a half.
Yeah.
3 more waves to push with here. JoJo trying to get something done in the 1-3-1 split push. At the very least, they should be able to get that bottom tower into the Jax. Keep on feeding this Jax some more money. This bottom thing isolated over there to Impact. He is going to be super duper fed. Sterik's coming next as well. More beef for these team fights to actually be able to get in and join the team in addition to being a split push threat.
I wonder if he's going to go Sterik's or if he's going to go Hullbreaker and commit to split push. It'll be interesting to see which one he actually decides to go for.
Whichever one he decides, that's which way he's going to fight.
Yeah.
Sterik's team fight, Hullbreaker split push.
Hullbreaker, see you later. I'm gone, right? You know, and you do have the Sivir to kind of enable that with really good wave clear. But the reason I feel like I would prefer the Sterik's is because there's already 3 dragons on C9 side. So you're going to be forced to group every 5 minutes to be able to try to prevent this soul. But it is Hullbreaker, so, yeah. You know, I kind of had a feeling, but I feel like the teamfight build makes more sense in this situation. You have to group.
Unless he thinks he's not in danger of dying anyway. He's like, I'm thinking no matter what I build, there's at least stats in this thing. I want to crush the side lane and then still be good enough in team fights.
Yeah, but they immediately, like you said, the dragon is coming up. Here we go.
Right,
here's the team fight.
JoJo setting up a flank here, so they're trying to come from multiple angles.
Vision control mostly belongs to EG as they knock on this control ward. There's a very small bash for Cloud9. Kill the control, but not the invisible one.
Zilean teleporting in. JoJo kind of camping this blast cone as well for the angle. Can he?
Inspired. Information known. Fudge jumps the wall, wants to fight for some of his vision. Knows the control ward's in that brush. We'll go for it. When does the fight happen? Cloud9 gets soul with the smite steal. 12k health. on this Infernal Drake. Danny shoves out mid, but he has to play this 5-on-5. In goes the Jax, and Pack gonna keep saving his stun. Inspire gets tagged up by Zeri. Fudge holds the front line pretty well. Decent mana pool thanks to Frozen Heart. Half health now on the Drake. They gotta go soon. Vulcan, when does he find the way in? 3K, reset. Jensen still in the right spot to support his team. Crab will be claimed.
First smite from Inspired. Second charge is coming up. They can burn it.
They know he's got no smite. They can burn it. Berserker comes in. They're rushing for it now. This dragon's going to be a freebie. Another bad smite means a dragon soul comes in. Team fight starts now. Fudge attacked. Fudge gets us some time to revive, and he will get the Zilean ulti. Blaber on the chase, but Blaber now without revives left. They got to win this fight somehow, but Danny is low. Berserker gets one. A single traded back, and he's still on the chase. A flash forward, but Berserker just will not die. He's bailed out. And guess what, EG? It's time to jump ship. They get one to Zeri. Vulcan gets the kill credit, but Inspired able to walk back to his base.
Yeah, Inspired not going to be able to get the chase in there, but it's the Soul forcing C9. Such a good job of capitalizing on that because Inspired was chugged low.
They're
he
not done
smited
yet,
for the heal.
He's gonna try to punch Zven. Here comes Inspired. He's not on the right character. He needs the out of the land. He gets one, but can he live? Triumph heal is huge. They get the pick on Zven.
Oh my God, Inspired Zven pulled 2 more kills out of nothing there at the very end, taking down Berserker, taking down Zven, but the prize was already won. Inspired smites the crab to heal off of it.
Exactly.
But it's in full vision.
Yeah.
It's in full vision, so you know the second charge is not going to be up in time, and Cloud9 will gladly take their Infernal Soul.
And I love how they use that zoning ultimate there. The hostile takeover just comes through, pushes them back, so there's no opportunity for EG to just force the fight. Inspired pushed out immediately. Impact doing a good job, with the dodge zone there, tanking out a lot of the damage from Blaber. And you can see Danny and Jojo here getting people pretty softened up. Danny sees an opportunity to try to turn it around. Does get the 1 kill onto Blaber, but it's Berserker going nuts over the wall here.
Good re-engage, but the first one is not enough. He bails out on the kill on impact. It's not until they chase deep over towards the Raptors that Vulcan with the angle from the middle lane over that little ledge of the wall gets the combo.
And it just gets so scary now. That damage is going to be amped up so much. They're hitting these later game stages. Yep. And he is so far away from his IE because he did make that pit stop for the LDR. There's a lot of armor, obviously, on this Sejuani, who he feels like he's got to be able to punch through. So it does make sense, but he doesn't even have his first component. He's only got 800 gold in pocket, so the IE is miles away. And Berserker is nearly a full item up here. He's closing in on his completion.
And you can kind of peg the 4-0 Drake plus Soul at, I think ballpark is about 7,000 gold. Now, those aren't item completions, right? There's no Everfrost or GA suddenly there, but in terms of BF swords and whatnot, and daggers, it's about 7,000 gold of power on Cloud9 right now.
And I really like that Jensen, you can see, is just going to go into a support item next, right? You don't need to do any more damage here as the Zilean. It's just about protecting the Zeri, amping her up. So, go for a support item here. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to look for. Maybe even like a Mikhail's could make sense.
And that is the key, too, because a lot of these cooldowns from Cloud9 are getting used on players not named Berserker in these team fights. And Berserker has to be the sole focus for both teams. For Cloud9, yes, for all the buffs, getting Mikhail's in there as well. Zven with the bailout, with the Renata steroids, but for evil geniuses as well. And EG have a scaling AD carry of their own. You mentioned that Sivir. Danny will be farming his way towards Infinity Edge. EG trying to funnel him as much. They're jumping on the Baron and trying to burn it down now.
Yeah, but they're on vision. Controller goes down. He's like, okay, never mind. It's spotted. Nothing else done right here. And the Hullbreaker Jax is not even willing to play for the lane right now. I think he doesn't know if there's people coming towards him.
No vision.
Yeah, and I think the key here for Evil Geniuses to make this game, a comeback and keep this series going is to really hard push their 1-3-1. Try and get a pickoff from pushing in both side lanes and then getting your Ahri, Jax, to have some hero plays. You actually don't want the full group 5-on-5. You would much rather the opportunity to get an outplay here with one of those picks. These ultimate charges from Ahri. Unleash Teleport is ready. Cloud9 know this, though. They're going to try and force you in.
Looking for it now. Baron down below 10,000 health. Dies rapidly here to a 4-item Zeri. Can they even get there in time? It's still burning. Do they have a chance at a smite? Engage comes in. Baron is secured. Zonia's buys a little bit of seconds, but a spell shiver. Danny keeps him alive in the fight. Vulcan low, but not dead either. Shut down onto the Wukong. And here comes Berserker. 2 kills picked up, an escape for EG, but he still hasted for more. Just goes for the mid lane. They know they've got the Baron, they've got 2 kills, and they've got the series in their hands.
Cloud9 are on the push here, 40 seconds on Danny. He's the only one who can wave clear this. Cloud9 want to punch their ticket to Worlds right here, right now.
And it's looking like it. Nexus turrets open soon. Mid-tier 2 is gone. Inhibitor's gonna be there as well. 20 seconds on the Wukong back up. 20 still on Danny. They can go for at least 1 tower, but do they like this push? Health bars and mana bars both a little bit low. Bit of damage towards Fudge, who walks in. Headbutted back though. Health bars are low enough. Wukong's up in 5. Stun's gonna go wide. Charm is decent damage. Blaber still feels safe for now. Zilean ult is up. They can play to the edge. They know that Zilean will get one back up.
You need to reset now. 40 seconds on the Elder Dragon. They've got Baron powered recall, so it should be fine. But when you see that coming up, you know it's a little bit too tenuous. Too much to lose if you stay inside the base. Elder Dragon up in 30 seconds. Let's get back to it.
Absolutely. We can watch this one more time. C9 just have the right read. They can just finish it. So, Vulcan tries to preempt it by going way in, but Fudge kind of buys some time here. Danny, by the time he actually gets up there, Vulcan's already pretty much dead. Inspired dives deep, but he goes down in a hurry, and then all the move speed, all the support on the Berserker, there's just no getting away.
And there's just so much damage. These explosions from the Infernal Dragon Soul.
Yeah.
Berserker now on the hunt again. Bomb on his head, speed under his feet. He's the real carry here.
And EG are not in a position to fight for Elder Dragon. This looks like it's guaranteed Cloud9's. As it comes up, 16k health. EG are coming back down, but we saw Danny far away, still going through his own side of the jungle.
Yeah, I think they feel like they have to flip it, right? This game is getting completely out of hand.
The Berserker.
They're going to look for the play.
Can they get anything? Zven is stuck against the wall. Might have to burn his flash, but no, he's got Fudge to bodyguard. So they pull the Elder and say, screw it. We'll start now. Time, of course, is not on EG's side, as mid is going to be flooded in with super minions. Inspired with a jump out yet again, can't find the play. At least Elder will be hitting Cloud9. Ulti goes wide from Fudge, but will it matter? Spell Shield blocks the slow, only zap towards Vulcan looks good. Alistar still up, but no flash makes it hard to get in.
Yeah, Cloud9 just have to buy time. They don't need to be the ones to force it. The supers are pushing mid. Impact is getting chunked low, and Inspired is seen on the other side. Mikhail's even finished as well for Jensen, so even a charm may not be enough.
Sweeper sees the ward, knows what's going on there. Will there be an engage, though? Vulcan in the wings has a blast plant, but he's on a ward. They're going for him. They're hasted in. Fudge gonna look for this one. Vulcan ults late after he's already too low. Headbutt means nothing. The fight comes in the bottom side. Their handshake brings back Inspired. It's 2 for nothing so far. Impact's gonna be next. They look for Zven, a support, a Phreak victory. Not even that. TP is already going into the base. This is over. Cloud9 take down the defending LCS champions. The ace comes through for Jensen. 14-7, and Cloud9 are the second LCS team headed to the World Championship.
C9 are back, baby! Sending EG to the lower bracket.
What an incredible series from Cloud9. They're gonna finish it out and done in style with the Olaf, with the Zilean, with a monster performance here from Berserker. Cloud9 pull off the huge upset, taking down the clear #1 team in EG. And Cloud9 have just stepped it up to a whole nother level. This team looks so much better than what we have seen from them before this entire year.
I love all the changes in draft from them as well. Bringing out the Ashe support versus CLG. Jensen says, nice pocket pick, Seraphine. I've got a pocket pick of my own. The Zilean, massive win rate for him. Celebration well deserved. Fudge gave an interview last couple days with Travis Gafford where he said, we're gonna 3-0 EG. And people thought he was memeing. Those are no jokes. It wasn't a 3-0, but it was a Cloud9 victory.
I mean, it's just a massive win for them. And now, we are faced with this situation where it is TL in the lower bracket, it is EG in the lower bracket. Both those teams cannot make it to Worlds. 2 of the spots are already gone out of the 3. TSM down there looking to compete. CLG still down there. A lot of teams gonna be stuck scrapping it out for that final spot. EG gonna have to make a lower bracket run like they did in spring. But they came into the series in such a different spot, thought of as the clear favorite, thought of as the dominant team here. And it was Cloud9 that were, really more up and down. But it seems like they've found their form and they've hit their peak at the exact right time.
And Zven, the entire goal for him was Well, I'll role swap support because there's the best chance I have of making worlds. There's not a spot for me in the starting lineup here with Berserker, and he's cracked, and I don't think the lineup good enough for me. So you know what? I will support Berserker. I will learn a new role in a split. Doesn't even get to play the opening couple of weeks. And he's headed to World Championship, and his first split is a role swap. Man's good.
Stuff. Fudge swapping back to top lane as well.
Jensen
Right choice for him.
Swapping out of retirement, you know.
Vacation swap.
Yeah, I mean, there were swaps all over the place, but it's so interesting because I remember when we were talking about this, you know, we were on the dive, we're doing our preseason stuff. We're like, well, there's so many ifs, you can't really put Cloud9 at the top.
But they're, you know, they're gonna curve up, right? Yeah.
And if it all works out, the potential of this team was enormous, and that's something that I think everyone agreed on. You know, and we didn't get to see them play at this level during the regular season, but it feels like they have now reached that potential where they're hitting at such a high level. I mean, the fact that Fudge, you know, played mid, now he's back to top, multiple solo kills here against Impact, you know, picking these aggressive matchups, punishing Impact in a way that people rarely can do. I mean, let's be honest, Impact is so solid. The team as a whole, I think, just looked incredible and really brought it to the next level.
There's one thing I know about Jack. He loves role swaps. Cloud9 have had so many over the years.
We'll see if they can keep it going here. 2 matches to go until they win the LCS Championship. See what happens for them. Now we're joining Pastrytime and Jensen on stage for our Verizon postgame interview.
Thank you very much. I am here with one of the only men this week to not have to play 5 games in a best of 5. It's Jensen for Cloud9. Zilean, huh?
We had to run it back.
Did you see Björk? You're like, wait a second, that looks pretty good.
I mean, honestly, it's something we've been practicing for a long time, and it's something we always win with. We brought it out in the tiebreaker in the regular season. I was like, damn, like maybe we shouldn't have done that because now they'll know about it. But this was the perfect time to do it, and I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, for sure. You said when you came off stage you felt relieved. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the competition in LCS this year was by far the toughest I've ever experienced. So I thought, you know, maybe this will be the time that I won't make it to Worlds. And I was really worried that, you know, there was a chance we couldn't make it to Worlds. So I'm just super relieved that we actually qualified, and now I can focus on the rest of the playoffs.
I was going to ask you, you actually have never missed Worlds, since I believe, since joining the LCS. So congratulations on making it back in. How does that feel to be back? I mean, you took a split off, coming back on Cloud9, and all of a sudden you're back at Worlds. How does that feel for you?
I mean, I'm super happy it worked out because I think I had some very rough games this summer, so I was a bit worried. You know, didn't want to let anyone down, and especially myself. So I'm just, you know, super happy that we were actually able to make it, and it was tough, but we're here.
We've come a long way from Yone in the very early weeks of the split. What's been like the biggest change for you? Obviously, you've been playing forever. Like, you knew the skill was always there. From, you know, week 1 to now, what's been the biggest difference for you in your play?
I think kind of just finding my ground within the team, how I want to play with the team, and just honestly just my own individual performance. I thought it was a bit lackluster, and I was worried with the break that it might have suffered a bit. But I think, you know, towards playoffs, I always ramp up. So yeah, I'm just happy that things worked out, and I think now I'm in a pretty good spot, and I'm just looking forward to the rest of the playoffs.
So after your first game, actually, or start of game 2, I talked to Max Waldo, your coach. He said feels like the best spot the team has ever been in. Do you agree? And kind of what's led to that, especially at such a perfect time now in playoffs?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're finally coming together. I think we finally figured out how to play with the team as well. I mean, this meta is a lot about like AD carry, and you know, I think we have the best AD carry, so that definitely helps. But yeah, it feels like we're finally like in sync as to how we want to play the game, both in like early, mid to late game. So things are finally coming together for us.
And then last one, obviously, you now qualify for Worlds. You don't have to worry about that anymore. It does mean you now have a date with 100 Thieves. Thoughts on that upcoming matchup?
Oh, 100 Thieves. Walk in the park.
Walk in the park?
Walk in the park. I mean, I think definitely EG is the best team and the toughest opponent we had to face. So, I mean, if we can 3-1 EG, like 100 Thieves, I don't even know what happened.
Better watch out, Jensen. Thank you so much for chatting with me as always.
Sorry, what did you say?
Thanks so much for chatting with me.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
And good work today. We're almost done, but not yet. We are going to go to the analyst desk for the Bud Light Breakdown.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bud Light Breakdown. Sorry, we're laughing because we were just joking around with Fudge, who's going to be joining a little bit later for a pro-to-pro. We're also attempting to get an interview with the EG squad set up as well. Jat, smartest guy in the room.
Dude,
Dude!
Whenever there's a chance to be the one person of 16 to predict something,
take it.
you have to take it.
It wasn't a real prediction.
What does the graphic say, Raz?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
No,
Did
Raz.
you predict C9?
No.
No, you didn't.
You've been on them all year, and at the last moment, you bail.
I did.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did. It sucks.
Okay, honestly, I thought it was going to be a very close series.
Yeah.
And it ended up being very close. Even this last game came down to a lot of clutch team fights. That would have pushed it to 5. So C9, I think, realized a lot of the potential that hadn't quite came together in a lot of their summer split games because the team arrived late and they've taken a long time to gel. And they put it together at exactly the right moment. And I don't think EG was quite ready.
I mean, it's very interesting to hear both from Max Waldo when he spoke to Pastry, and then Pastry kind of reiterating here, talking about the team being in the best form. Love that Jensen's calling out while the meta seems to revolve around 80 carries. They're fully confident in Berserker's ability to deliver, and he did that. And so, yeah, I mean, this C9 squad's exciting. C9 internationally has always, been one of the top representatives for North America, and so with Worlds in NA, feels good.
Wouldn't be Worlds in NA without C9. I think the coolest thing from this series that I saw, not only that increased coordination, but Blaber had Inspired's number for the entirety of the series. It was through, Fudge and Jensen tracking it. Like, they did such a good job of making sure that he didn't have nearly as much impact as he typically does in EG's games. And what ultimately happened is that Blaber actually looked like he had better coordination with his lanes today than Inspired did with all of EG.
Yes, and speaking to that coordination, actually, speaking to that coordination, you mentioned the specific point about like Blaber's specific performance, but yeah, they were all in on basically protect the president on Berserker.
Oh, yeah.
And Berserker was amazing on Zeri, and they kept giving it to him, or at least like putting him in situations for him to succeed in, and I thought that was amazing. So like throughout the split, we've been looking at how Cloud9 had been playing around Berserker, or just basically playing in unison with one another, so they're on the same page. They've been talking about it whenever they have in interviews or when they were here on the desk, and this looked like they reached that goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think this is a C9 series that you can really be proud of, because it didn't necessarily look like they beat EG and kind of fluked it. It just looked like they were the dominant team.
Yes.
They looked better.
Yeah.
They did lose a game, but maybe that was the Seraphine being very strong in this patch, maybe undervalued coming into this weekend in playoffs. But they just looked better overall. And EG, I think, looked a lot worse than we expected. And I'm curious as to why they look so much worse. Maybe just C9 is really, really good. But I think maybe coming into next week, C9 is looking the best.
They say they feel like the best right now, right? And that's the whole thing with the postseason, especially when you have these teams that get those extra 2 weeks, right, before we get to see them play. Speaking of evil geniuses, I'm being told that Pastrytime is standing by with Inspired.
Thank you very much. I am here with Inspired. Obviously, sucks to lose. How you feeling, man?
I mean, I'm feeling not the best, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm curious. It's always an interesting conversation. I feel like every now and then in playoffs we have it. Obviously, high seed coming from the upper bracket. This is your first time on stage with the team. Do you feel like that helped the team or hurt the team, or kind of what's your thoughts on getting to see all the teams, but obviously getting to play later?
I mean, I think it was advantage for us that we saw C9 play before, but I feel like they kind of did a little bit different drafts than they did against CLG. So we didn't really expect the stuff that they were doing, or like we expected some, but not all of them. And I don't know. I think you can't really blame it though, that the fact that we are playing first time on stage in playoffs, it's like disadvantage or anything. I think they just came better prepared and they abused our draft mistakes very well. I think they abused the fact that we don't really play a lot of meta champs and they play all of them. So yeah, I think the drafting part was like really hard against them, and I think that's what costed us the game.
That's fair. Obviously, though, even though the 3-1 scoreline didn't necessarily reflect how close, especially a lot of those games were, how are you feeling, especially in that fourth game there? That did seem like there was a way in, even against the Zeri.
I mean, fourth game, before the series, I was always saying to ban Zilean second phase, because Blaber really likes to play it, and they had already hyper carry. I think we didn't notice that we had like too much focus on Sejuani flex pick. We forgot about the Zilean existing, and they got Zilean second phase, and then I was not really sure what exactly we need to do to win, but I think we did pretty well in the early game. We got the we got the Rift, and then we should have been able to finish the first Drake, and I think, but it got stolen, and I think from that point, their comp started becoming a bit online. We need to play very well with our split push and be able to get the soul, but somehow they were just getting Drake and Drake after Drake, and if the teamfight comp is like so early able to get the soul, I think it was very hard to play. But even though I think that first teamfight that like decided the game when we were 2k gold up, I feel like enemy, I think Blaber like went very deep. I think if we just keep calm during the fight and just don't run into the Zeri that still has ult up and everything up. I think like Alistar flashed combo. I think Ahri like went forward and flipped that he will land the charm. I think if we just played slower then maybe they will not get that big of a lead. But the moment Zeri gets a triple kill, I don't know how to win the game with Zeri Zilean.
Yeah, it's true. Obviously, plenty of stuff to think about. I know the team will do all of that kind of in the coming week. But kind of on that, obviously the team is not out. This is just an upper bracket loss. Your next opponent is TSM, and more importantly, obviously, the team needs to bounce back. How are you kind of approaching the next week of preparation?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I will need to think about this, what we need to change in preparation. I think it's kind of hard to change stuff drastically right now. I think we need to do like small adjustment, and hopefully we'll play better than we did today, because I think today we're also making quite a lot of mechanic mistakes. I think usually Jojo is the playmaker on the team. I think today he was kind of silenced. He didn't really do many plays. I think he maybe the pressure got to him, because it was like probably the most important series in his career so far. And yeah, I think there won't be too many drastic changes. I think we'll just focus on playing better.
Yeah. And then on the mental side, is there anything that you or the team does to kind of bounce back from losses? Obviously they suck, but
I mean, I lost a lot already in my career, so I will try to make sure that my teammates don't feel too bad, because we are obviously not out yet. And if we play well, then everyone will forget about this defeat. So I don't know. I will try to cheer my teams up, and try to do better next game.
Yeah, makes sense. Inspire, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we are going to now go back to Hai, who's pro to pro with Fudge.
Welcome back to Pro, everyone. I have Fudge here with me today. Congratulations on the win. So I have quite a few clips here for you. Most of them are good. We have one somewhat interesting one. But the very first one that I'm going to bring up here is that this is in game 1 where you're playing Camille into Ornn, and they go for this Herald fight where it's a 3v4 in your favor. You have the 4 and they have the 3. So basically my question is, after they fumble this fight and you get a lead, do you guys make an active game plan to try and change how you want to win the game? Because you do have a Zeri Lulu, but you're so ahead that you can start solo killing Ornn. So do you just tell your team, hey, I can carry if you let me play it, or how does that go?
Yeah, so basically right after this fight, they decided to try to chase us down because their bot lane was moving, but they didn't really have Hecarim or a Zero ulti, so it was a bit confusing as to why they really wanted to fight. But right after this, I remember just saying, like, in comms, like, I have Sunder in base, I will destroy Ornn in lane, he can't lane 1v1, and I'll just slowly take his tower, as long as we keep finding vision of Hecarim. And if Hecarim can't gank me because I have no flash, that's basically Camille's like main weakness against Ornn, is that you can get ganked if you're far up the lane. So I just told everyone to just play a little bit slowly, try to find Hecarim, don't die to ganks, and if we play slowly in this game, I'll just slowly carry the game and get ahead in side lane. They can't really do anything because they don't really have insanely good engage in this game. And that's what happened, I guess.
Awesome, cool. That's glad to know that you guys can like change the plan or adapt considering what happens in the game. So then this is game 2. You're playing Fiora into Aatrox. I don't exactly know how this matchup goes. Is this a counter pick? Because you did get counter picked. They picked Aatrox and you picked Fiora into it. And then if it is a counter pick, are you supposed to be able to solo kill him like this?
Yeah, it's definitely a counter pick. I would definitely say that this matchup's not really playable for Aatrox. He can win at around level 5 to 7, but he can't really do anything past one item. There's no way of him landing many Qs on Fiora. And here, basically what was happening was Sejuani was hovering for about like 40 seconds, I think.
You see Sejuani.
And then I ended up seeing Sejuani right at this moment, which allowed me to kill him. Because he kept walking up despite Sejuani showing on a ward, which he probably didn't know. And it's obviously as soon as Aatrox is far up a lane against Fiora, he sort of just gets run down, can't really live.
Gotcha, cool. So this is also from that game. This is the interesting clip that I have. So oftentimes when people watch pro teams and plays, they wonder like how do throws happen? And this is probably the only throw you've had in the entire 4 games.
Right.
Game 3 you guys lost, but I didn't really see a place that you threw. But here is definitely a throw. If we open the minimap really quick, you'll see that you guys are trying to get a pick on the side lane and your Wukong is top. Can you tell me about what's going on in comms here? as I play this out for you?
Yeah, so basically right here, Blaber said he's going to push out top wave, and obviously he's the jungler, so he has no teleport. And we walked up a bit too far bot side. They have, I believe, Shirelias on Yuumi and Aatrox to run us down, so it was pretty bad that we tried to sit in their bot side to do anything. We sort of just have to wait for Blaber to actually push top wave, come down, and then we can get bot side control if that's what we want. But I think we could also just push bot wave, I move up instead of us coming bot side, and then we can play for top side vision because of Baron.
Gotcha. So I'll continue playing this out. I bring it up because I'm curious. Like, there's obviously like different things you could have done there. Like number one, Zven could have not just been there. You could not have gone for a pick. But looking back at this entire play, that you guys just died down bottom. What would you, like you were telling me about just now, what would you do differently? Would you try to take this fight later? Would you try to take it when they're doing Baron, etc.?
Yeah, I think what I should have done was after I pushed the bot wave into the tier 2, right at the start of the play.
I'll bring it back for you.
When Aatrox was under tower, oh no, Lissandra was under tower, I believe. I should be moving up with LeBlanc to mid-wave to try to get control of topside vision. And as soon as I can get topside vision with LeBlanc and my teammates, we can sort of just control this entire red side jungle, and there's nothing they can really do, especially considering the red buff's coming up, we can get a free red buff. And they can't really fight us 5v5 in any way. It's only way they can really win is if they decide to, I guess we decide to run it down like we did. Obviously, I'm trying to outplay them. I'm feeling like the shy right now, but I'm definitely not the shy. Did not press W on anything.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, because I thought you guys could have potentially like pushed mid and stuff instead as well. So it's cool to hear your thoughts on like what you would have done differently. So that's what I'll have for this clip, and then we'll move on to this next one that I have over here. This is game 4, and I'm bringing up this clip because at this point in the time, you guys have already won the game, in my opinion. You got a quadra kill on Zeri or a triple earlier in the game. You won most of the fights, and this Baron call is a really great call. You guys just rush it down and get it. So my question to you is, how do you feel about your performance over these 4 games? Earlier, you're saying you felt like it was good, but you could have done better. I actually was watching you play, and I couldn't really see like what you would have wanted more from yourself. I thought you did great. So.
I think in some of the lanes, I definitely messed up a little bit. Specifically this game, I think I could have played a lot better where I was wasting a lot of my mana. And with the tier bug on Sejuani, where you can't go tier in competitive matches, it makes it really hard to lane like extended durations against any of the bruisers that sort of just win trades. You used to be able to just poke them down with W, but now you sort of run out of mana if you use W and Q over and over. So I kept trying to trade despite not having enough mana to, and then I got forced to recall, went down like 15 CS, which I don't think I should be in this lane. I think in this lane I should just be even completely, and in team fights I think I should be way more impactful because of my ulti, like slowing all of them. They need to dive because they're playing Wukong and Ahri and Jax, and Zeri can just never die because of Renata and Zilean. So I definitely think I could have played a lot better in laning phase to go closer to even, which would make team fights a lot easier.
Gotcha, cool. So that's all I have for you today. Once again, congratulations on the win. Thank you for taking the time here. That will do it for us, and we're gonna toss you all back to the Bud Light breakdown.
Thank you so much, Ty.
There it
Thank you,
is.
Fudge, and congratulations on the victory over EG. Booking a trip to Chicago, also booking a ticket to Worlds.
There it is.
Unbelievable.
I am so excited to see this roster continue through the postseason. Just given the fact that not only do they take down the 1 seed, obviously that's huge and hype, but the fact that they do it in 3-1 fashion when everything else has been close, I mean, it's gonna be great.
EG went 15-3 and 1-3 in this series. That's why it was so unexpected. I mean, C9 really did have to go above and beyond. I think the top lane matchup with Fudge was a huge part of the series, and I love all the insight he was able to give there.
It was like a great combination of that point that you had made, the top lane matchup, the creativity that he has there, and also the fact that the meta favors AD carries so much. If you are a damn good AD carry and Berserker is that, then it really is just put the power in his hands with Zeri and play around him, and we got to see both of that.
And it's really cool. Again, I can't stress enough, their draft strategy was interesting, and they put a lot of things mid, specifically the Ori and the Zilean, that also help protect your AD carry. So I've been wondering when we'd see like more of this come out in terms of not only pocket picks, but just more regularly. And then also shout out to Zven, who obviously is really strong on enchanters, but he talked to us on the desk previously, right, about how he role swapped because he wanted to make it back to Worlds, because he wanted to keep playing. Well, congrats, Sven. You qualified already.
Yeah, and I love this conversation around the picks that Cloud9 was able to bring out the creativity and draft, Olive, because Inspired echoed that in saying we did not see all of that coming. You know, we saw some of it, but they definitely had angles that we weren't seeing. We got caught off guard.
Yeah, it was definitely well drafted by C9, but personally what I was really impressed with was just their team fighting in general. I feel like they were team fighting really well. I was really impressed with how Fudge was frontlining on Sejuani specifically, and Fudge in general was just playing great, but naturally Berserker was also playing excellently. Every single member on C9 I felt was really locked in on these team fights.
And looking at this here, it's almost like C9 played more like EG than EG did. We saw at the very start of the day, Emily, you brought up the point about the AD carry matchup. Generally speaking, EG funnels resources, team comps, and play styles so Danny can shine in team fights. But they never got Danny Zeri. That was Berserker. They never gave Danny Zilean Renata to help support him. Like, this is not actually a very EG-style comp. What in this composition is enabling the Sivir to carry? Sivir is just helping the other people dive in. That's not what EG got to 15-3 on. So both of these players, Berserker and Danny, I think have the potential to be the best team fighting AD carries in the league. But the team comps were in favor of Berserker today to carry as an AD.
The other thing that's really interesting to me was how these things played out, right? Like, we touched on that first Herald, I think all the way back in game 1, how they slow rotated Danny and Vulcan up to match instead of like kind of posturing around it and leveraging it for plates. Again, I cannot stress enough how well they were able to track Inspired, so he was not able to have the same impact on his lanes as he usually is. And that was a massive part of EG's like early to mid game. We talked about how EG maybe don't have an explosive early game, right? But they do weather the storm against those kind of early games until they have a really strong mid game and win it through team fights. And Blaber's influence and the way that they were able to track Inspired and keep him down was really impressive in the series.
Yeah, and I think the ability to adapt within the series is incredibly important. Evil Geniuses, we've always talked about, we've highlighted their strengths and, you know, quote unquote, their weaknesses, like what they, throughout the year, found difficult to work around in draft. And the fact that they have been really smart at being able to play around that. And I know that in the interview with Inspired, he referenced that as a weakness coming into today. He mentioned a few things like the prep, the team fighting, so there's a lot to unpackage there. But the one thing that is coming very clear, especially in a best of 5 where you are forced to adapt, teams will know what you want to play and will put you in a position where you have to be better at what you're not comfortable with. And I felt like Evil Geniuses really struggled in that fact.
And speaking of changing an adaptation throughout a series, our player of the series scores high marks in that category as Fudge picks it up. Two very different styles on display throughout, right? The first 2 games, the Camille, the Fiora, in which he's charged with being the carry a little bit more, over to the Sejuani and the Scion, even if he wouldn't find success on that Scion pick. This guy's back at home in the top lane, I feel like.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see. His carry games, they put resources on him, and he was incredible on the picks. On his tank games, his facilitating games, especially the one that we just saw, much like what you just said, Olive, just the fact that he was creating space for his AD carry and just walking up and tanking. He understood his role completely throughout the series.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason C9's team fights look so clean is Fudge was doing a really good job at making sure that when he was playing the split pushers, he was doing the maximum to be useful. And when he was playing the tank, he was really enabling his AD carries really well. And even though that didn't come to fruition in the 3rd game, in the 4th game, there were a lot of instances where he's starting the fight in a way that allows Berserker to hit without anybody really being able to get onto him.
Yeah, and it's also a highlight reel of how hard it was for Danny to play the game. In the first 2 clips, it was him jumping on Danny with Camille and then killing him with Fiora. And in this clip, it's him buying so much space, never letting Danny actually have access to anyone until he steps into lethal range and dies.
Yeah, and cannot emphasize it enough how well as a team they've played, right? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people going to be watching this saying, what about Berserker? Like, what about Jensen? What about Blaber? All of these guys played incredibly well, Zven as well, to find themselves this success.
What about
I got it.
What about Jack?
What about Cecil, who was sitting there?
Open it up Twitter. What about the coaching staff? No, like.
What about that tablet?
There it is. That tablet.
Ben's tablet is the new Lemon notebook.
You really needed all of that for them to have a performance that they have had here.
Yeah.
So it's just insane that it was there. I wanted them to continue to have this level of success.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah, let's
the
go.
idea of like consistency has been thrusted on Cloud9 throughout the split, but I think this is real growth, and it's going to be fun to see this team continue to play how they're playing.
In just a moment, I want to have a conversation about the landscape of the postseason. Now,
boy.
before we get
Oh,
there,
yeah.
let's take a look at some stats. The Samsung SSD Fast 5. What we've done here this week is we've taken the times from the top, or the 4 upper bracket teams, I should say,
Yeah.
to
Okay.
compare, just to get a sense of what our top-seeded teams in the postseason here get done.
Blaber, Olaf.
Yeah, that'll never change, right? If he's played an Olaf game, his times are going to be the best.
Absolutely. So of course those are the two things, both Blaber and Zven. Just kind of talking about the strength of these players. What do you see?
Well, I see bot lane, 10K gold, that Danny's not on that list. Well, I mean, assuming
Yeah.
4th, right? So actually
That's
the
not
fact that
EG.
he trails goes to your point, Jat, that it doesn't seem to support the way that they were winning throughout the split.
I think also important to mention support item transformation. Zven is way earlier than the second place on that list.
Yeah.
That's what, 35 seconds?
And a whole minute and 15 seconds ahead of Vulcan.
Yeah,
Wow.
like that's insane. That is huge for the vision
What's he
control in
not
the early
doing?
game.
He's not buying potions, not buying pinks. He's like saving as much money as he can in order to get to that as quickly as possible. I mean, it's an interesting
Stat.
Yeah,
harassment 24/7. I feel like that's a small statistical note that 80 carries are running the show.
Yeah.
And that's what does make it weird that EG lost the series again. Like
Yeah.
we're getting over and over it again, but they didn't set up Danny for success.
Yeah, let's pull the bracket up. Let's have this discussion because our favorite, our postseason favorite, just fell, and they fell in the most lopsided series of the week from a only from a scoreline perspective. So, who's the new favorite? Like, who's the top? Like, what is your perception of the makeup of our bracket at this point?
First of all, I'm confused.
First of all, help me.
Second of all, Stocks and 100 Thieves. I literally, this is just so fun to watch. And it now makes the lower bracket that much more exciting. Like, that EG did it in Spring Split. They can do it again, but they would have to face either an empowered CLG, a Team Liquid that is probably pissed off from not being able to win that 5-game series after trying to run it back.
And then they're either rematching C9 or playing 100 Thieves that's pissed off because they just got dropped down. Like, the road
A lot of people are mad.
difficult in the lower bracket right now.
Yes. God, I love this.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's great.
There's a piece of me, Jat, that wants to jump on the untapped potential aspect of the Cloud9 roster and say, like, if they continue this trajectory, that they might actually be the championship winning team.
I mean, every series went 5 games except for this one.
Exactly.
This weekend. So you could make that
by the numbers.
Yeah, it makes closers kick even more important yesterday because I think EG is better than what they showed today. So no one wants to have to beat EG to go to Worlds. That's actually, to me, the most compelling storyline. Like, we'll get the 3 teams in the finals, and they'll decide who wins on that weekend. But next weekend, we're going to see whether or not it's TL or EG or CLG that gets to go to Worlds.
Or TSM.
TSM.
Forgot about TSM.
Don't sleep on TSM.
What happened to TSM?
Know your roots. Know your roots.
TSM subreddit, go to work.
TSM to Cloud9. It really has been 10 years of the LCS.
And it does cast my mind back to the start of Split because I will always remember, like, you value what's on paper.
Yeah.
When we're talking about, the question of who's going to be the 3 teams that go to Worlds. And I didn't have 100 Thieves in my list, right? I thought it was going to be EG, TL, and it was going to be Cloud9. But then much like Jat said, I jumped off that ship of Cloud9. I was like, they're not getting it together.
You flip-flop at the worst.
The man actually jumped overboard.
You were correct.
He just jumped off.
You were
the
correct
C9
so
ship.
much.
For the majority of the split, and at the end of the split, I'm like, that's too much for me.
What I'm learning is that whenever Raz jumps ship, that's the time for everyone else to jump on that ship.
True.
Right before my series.
Oh, there we go. Boy Golden Guy. Yeah, like, I don't believe in Olive. He wins.
I will say, we were saying untapped potential on C9.
Yes.
I feel like with what they showed today, they can't be considered untapped anymore. They just cleanly beat EG, cleanly in close. Because EG, we assume, is better than they showed today, but
we don't know.
You beat the person that's in front of you. C9 beat EG. They looked very dominant, and I would say they looked better than 100 Thieves.
You heard it here first. C9's been tapped. Whatever that means.
Wow.
Olaf, thank you so much for joining us today, helping us break down the series, getting in on that cast as well. That's it for this week of LCS postseason play. 19 games out of 20.
Wow.
We almost got it all. Cloud9 wanted to make sure we got an extra hour of rest. Thank you all so much for joining us. Don't forget, 4 more days of play next week. So Thursday all the way through Sunday. But on behalf of myself, the cast, and the entire broadcast crew, we're going to sign off for now. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week for more LCS. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, be good to each other, and good night.
Big week.
What a banger week.
That's good.
And bottom scuttle going to be 3.
Crowd number 3!
He is unstoppable. Cloud9 with a shellfish buffet. Over the wall he goes, stays alive. Fudge gets a stun. Down goes Inspired. Danny's got a kite, but Fudge is tanky. Again is a triple kill, and nothing else JoJo can do. 4 unanswered.
Stop going on him. No Sivir flash. Sivir flash.
He's got half a health bar. It's going to be a smite fight pretty soon into the mix. Danny gets one in a chance. They trade back Aatrox. Blaber's coming around. Wants to find it. The bounty is claimed. The smite comes through. Danny's alive. And Danny in the Baron pit.
I'm just looking for
Kill Sejuani. No flash. Yes, kill Sejuani. Sejuani flash. Change. We can end.
Okay.
They can't kill a single soul. Vulcan flashes. Berserker tries, but it's not going to happen. Quick stopwatch. Berserker finds the stun. Impact will kill him off. And no one is left from Cloud9 to defend the Nexus. We got a series on our hands.
Jojo, take a few deep breaths, okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Sure?
Yeah, I think he's fine.
No, I'm shaking, bro.
I see it, yeah.
I think Jojo is fine. He's built different.
Built different. They're still on it. Can we check? Down. I got it.
Oh my god.
Can we check?
It's going to be a dead Danny. Berserker not stunned. They get one back out of Impact. He's going to find his own goal. JoJo misses the charm, and it's going to be another kill. Never know without revives left. They got to win this fight somehow, but Danny is live. Berserker gets one. A single traded back, and he's still on the chase. A flash forward, but Berserker just will not die. This is over. Cloud9 take down the defending LCS champion.